Hi, my name is Karla Mendoza. I'm from Saltillo, Coahuila, Mexico, and I'm here to tell you the story of my American dream. I'm the oldest of three. My parents and my brother, my sister, and I lived in Saltillo for a few years before we moved to Morelia. My dad was a businessman, my mom a teacher. We lived a very comfortable life, lots of family and friends. Around the time that the economy started crashing in Mexico, so did my dad's business. My mom at this point was a stay-at-home mom. We started struggling financially. My dad tried different ways of providing for our family, but the economy had crashed so much that there was really no way for his business to survive. We made a few moves around Mexico just in hopes of finding job, finding food, finding more business, but those were not very fruitful. So in August of 1994, my parents decided that the best thing to do was to make the move to the United States. The tourist visa is for you to come visit, so after a week or so of your travels, you are meant to go back to your place of origin. They had some friends here in Houston, so we traveled here in a car with all of our belongings in the back of that station wagon, and we made the trek here. So 6 hours later, we called our new home in a little 2-bedroom apartment with no furniture. The very next day, I started school. I was 11 years old, so starting junior high, 6th grade. We registered. I went into the school. Nobody spoke Spanish. Nobody could help us. The culture, the kids, the language, everything was so different. And although I had moved around in my life before, I was no stranger to being the new kid. This was completely different. I was alone. It was the first time that I felt completely alone in a place where nobody understood. Before, I guess you could at least express your feelings or ask questions or tell your fears, but who was I going to say that to when nobody could even understand my hello? My dad worked hard to get a job. He actually had 3 jobs. He worked really hard. He was an engineer, graduated top of his class in Mexico, and here there weren't a lot of options, so his degree didn't count, so he parked cars for a living. So he worked as a valet parking attendant for 3 different companies. So he would work, come home, sleep a couple hours, go to the next job, sleep a couple hours, go to the next job, and so on. My mom stayed home so she could walk us to school, and she could be there when we were there. So she sacrificed her career so we could have a life. We struggled, but he worked hard. He did everything he could just to provide. And after about a year, he got a job at a dealership. So he started selling cars, which actually ended up being like his thing, and he was great at it. That started and he was excited, but that also meant straight commission. So he worked from sun up to sundown, and he worked more hours than he was supposed to Monday through Saturday, and Sunday he made time to be with us. As tired as he was, he made time to be with us as much as he could. But we had 1 car, so at 9, 10 o'clock, the whole family would go and pick him up and bring him back. He missed a lot. He missed a lot of my basketball games or practices. I had a little bit of just resentment towards him until I grew up and I realized the sacrifices that he made. Because for me, missing one of my kids' games, that hurts. He worked harder than anybody else I know. He had the key to open the dealership because he was the first one to get there and the last one to leave. A lot of his co-workers didn't see that. They saw there's this brown man with broken English that's taking our jobs, that's taking our money. They didn't see the work that he had done before, or that when they were stumbling in at 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, he had been there for 4 or 5 hours already. So that was the first time in my life that I saw with my own eyes, or experienced with my own eyes, hatred, racism, discrimination, whatever you want to call it, just for the color of your skin, or where you came from, or the accent that you have. They didn't see the hard work that he had actually put in. That obviously was not the last time that I saw that, but that's the first time I remember really feeling the I don't belong here. The original plan was for us to live here a few years, to let the economy in Mexico settle, and then for us to move back. But my freshman year, or the summer before my freshman year, I remember my parents looking around for houses to buy. And that's when I knew that there was no going back. That as much as I missed my country, as much as I missed my friends, and as much as I didn't belong here, or felt like I didn't belong here, that this is where I had to stay. This was home now, and I just had to make the best of it.